All right, Arkansas. All right. Okay, we're gonna get this thing started here. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yo, there we go. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. We're hopping into it. We're going. We're gonna get her going here. We're gonna get her going. Yeah, appreciate you guys for stopping by, being here. We're gonna, I'm doing something. We're gonna do something a little different. I want to make into a tradition on this show, if I can remember to do it. I'll give you. We'll see in just a second. In just a second, I'll show you guys what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something a little different on this one. Arkansas gets the win over Abilene Christian at home in Bud Walton. Not a really active crowd, but students gone. Listen, man, it's December 21st. It's a weeknight game. It just kind of is what it is. Obviously, SEC play that'll change. It's going to be louder and more active. But I mean, you're just kind of victim of the time of year. I'm sure this isn't the only place where that's happening. All right. Yeah. What did you guys think? Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Feel free to fire away. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the garage door company. They operate out of Central Arkansas and Northwest Arkansas. Affordable outcomes, quality parts, free estimates, better than best results. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. They're offering 10% off right now for holiday winter savings. 10% off. I think it's going all the way till January 1st. And again, they're going to come out and look at your door for free. I mean, it's just kind of a good deal. So shout out to Direct Service Overhead. Yeah, we have our fair share of ledge jumpers already in Discord. They get real hot and gets real heated when Arkansas plays like pure shit. That's to be expected. I'm going to say, turn this fan off here for a second. I'm going to say it's a long year, and we've got a long ways to go until March. But I will admit, and by the way, you know who you are. Those of you who are being really negative, I'm sure Fish is in here somewhere. Fish was, oh, there he is. Fish is in chat. Yeah, I get it. But it's a long year. But I do concur that things, especially given the way they played in the first half, then obviously the last game, and then you go back to the Oklahoma game, they still are trying to figure things out. My God, I know that sounds like we hear the same thing every game. You're going to hear it every game. I liked what I saw in the second half, though. They go to the smaller lineup. Brazil out. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. There have been games this year where I'm watching Brazil play, and I'm like, where is the lottery pick? Where is the first round? I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I mean, he's getting blocks. But I'm not. There's no physicality. There's a hesitance with this guy. He wins tip-offs. Okay, that's not what gets you in the first round, my guy. It's a little bit more active around the rim on the offensive end of the floor. I really thought that dude would be churning out double-doubles. I really did. By now, I thought we'd be seeing 14, 16 points, 10, 12 rebounds, maybe not boards necessarily, but close to a double-double. Maybe something like 16 points, 7 or 8 rebounds a game with a couple of blocks a game. Maybe helping out, distributing under the rim a little bit, although he's typically the guy that needs to be distributed to under the rim. Just some kind of activity if he goes cold. And I haven't been impressed with what I've seen out of Brazil. Now, it's not to say that you should give up on him. It's pointless. It's pointless. It's done, Brazil. It's done. You're a bum. No, sir. No, sir. And I don't call players bums, but it's just not how I roll. But I've not been very impressed with him this year so far. There was a point in time. There have been a couple times this year where you see it. You see Brazil playing at a really high level. It's just since that injury, again, the one that he got this year, not that long ago. Since then, I just don't think he's just not playing anywhere near the level that he should be and what he's capable of playing. And I think Arkansas has, on top of the other issues, some of their defensive play, Devo, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but we're starting to see where Devo has become a liability on defense. This guy, every game, I never thought I would say that. It's like every game, someone is just beating him off the dribble, making him look silly. Now, it's not all game. He does step up from time to time, but man, is he getting beat to the rim. So you combine the issues, Brazil kind of a no-show. They go small in the second half, and it worked out a lot better. They couldn't compete. That's what we're talking about when you talk about the athleticism. Arkansas has it. They have it. They're going to be more athletic than most teams they play if they're going to do that. But you're sacrificing length and size. So best player is debatable. I don't know. In for Life 9. Oh, my God, did Mizzou really take Arkansas's best football player? Enjoy the ride while you're on it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. I'm assuming you're a Mizzou fan. Or you're just a hater, one of the two. Hey, Ty, what causes Hog Nation to lose more brain cells? Watching a Hog football game or watching Hog basketball? I need some Xanax again. Yeah, I don't know, man. They're definitely underperforming, and but I'm going to say this: the second half they were far better. We saw them go on a couple of really nice runs. They went on a 14-2 run. At one point, it was like a 10-0 run or 8-0 run, and then no. I'm sorry, that was the second run. They go on a 14-2 run, then they back that up a couple minutes later with a really nice 8-0 run. It's nice to see that. Even though it's Abilene Christian, it's nice to at least see them do that. Now, Abilene Christian, even though they're a very mid team, they're 22nd in the country in forced turnovers. And they certainly did that, forcing Arkansas to 12 turnovers in the first half. 4 turnovers for Arkansas. The play in the first half was atrocious. The start to this game was awful. Now, Brazil actually shined a little bit in the first half. He had 8 points. He had a block, 3 boards, 2 offensive rebounds. He shot 3 of 6. Overall, 1 of 2 outside. Again, he defensively, I don't know what the guy brings to the table, and then sometimes on offense, we just see the guy vanish. 8 points in a half isn't too bad. It's still not to the level we thought we'd get out of him. Lawson had 5 points in the first half, but he had 8 rebounds. He had 8 rebounds just in the first half alone. Arkansas in the first half out-rebounded these guys easily. Well, throughout most of the game it was. Now, Abilene Christian was able to kind of close the gap. Most of this game, Arkansas out-rebounded them by like double digits. It was like 10-12 the entire game. And that's what you would expect, right? But even when they went smaller, Arkansas still did a pretty decent job attacking the boards. But there's still just so many things that this team has to work on. Maybe this is the right fit. What we saw in that second half. Too many stupid turnovers and stupid fouls. So Arkansas, Arky 56 coming in hot. Arkansas had 5 turnovers in the second half, again versus 12 in the first half. Let's look at Abilene Christian's numbers. They couldn't shoot in the first half. If they could shoot in the first half, they're up 12, 14 points and going into halftime with maybe a 15, 16-point lead. They were struggling. I was loving watching Simmons, especially in the second half, trying to knock down those threes. That guy goes 0 for 4 outside. But they end up 39% overall, 4 of 16 outside, so shooting 25% there. They don't typically shoot well outside, and they're not a team that's going to do that very often. What really hurt them was their free throw shooting. They had 20 attempts. They were just 13 of 20. They got some really good bench production. Bettiall, am I pronouncing that right? That dude went off, 14 points. He almost had a double-double, 14 points, 8 boards. He also had a steal and an assist, so he ended up having a pretty good night coming off the bench for them. And then Allen, another guard of theirs, went for 7 points, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 2 boards. Simmons ends up with 7 points, and their leading scorer was Deba, 8 of 17 overall, 0 of 2 outside. They couldn't land shots outside. They airballed 2 or 3 threes, bricking left and right, couldn't hit the mid-range jump shots, and they couldn't knock down their free throws. Had they been a little bit better on offense, this is a closer game. despite Arkansas's turnaround in the second half. This is a far closer game. Now, Arkansas led. Again, they went on that nice little run, after about the first 4 minutes or so in the second half. They went on that nice little run, and again, Abilene Christian struggled to knock down shots. But, if they shoot a little bit better, 65% at the free throw line, if they shoot, 75, 80%, and again, if they knock down some of those mid-range or one of those couple of those long balls, this is a closer game in the second half. So there's still plenty. I'm not giving this game, I'd give the grade maybe like a C+, simply because of the second half turnaround. Maybe this is going to be their thing from here on out. Maybe they're going to be guard heavy, going to be 4 guards. It's kind of hard to imagine, but 4 guards and whoever they want to plug in at the 5. I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, I think you could do that for a little while, but some of these bigger teams in the SEC are going to eat that up. There's some of these teams in the SEC that are long, they have the athleticism and the talent. They're going to eat that up. Abilene Christian struggled with it. So they also ended up with just 8 turnovers. Now, again, we talked about how they're good at forcing turnovers. They had 10 steals. Abilene Christian had 10 steals to your 2. So they were +8 in that category. Arkansas shoots really well, 52% overall, 27 of 52. Listen to this. Even though it was just 15 shots, they knocked down 7 of 15 for almost 47% shooting outside. That's what I'm talking about. That's perfect. That's perfect. And I'll tell you something else I liked. They were doing a better job of setting up their shots in the second half. Much more movement. I got to say, I like Minifield at the 1. I don't know why they shifted off of him playing the point guard. But I like him. I want to see him get more minutes playing the 1. I want to see him get more minutes as the point guard. And he also found a way to he had 11 points. Quietly had 11 points, 6 boards, and 2 assists, 3 steals. There's no way that's right. They're giving him credit for 7 blocks. No. That can't be right. That's got to be an error on ESPN. I'll have to look over at the official stats side. But maybe he had 1. But he did turn the ball over a little bit. Now they're claiming 4. I would have guessed maybe 2 or 3. But he was 0 for 3 outside. Again, did he try 3 threes? Man, let me flip over to the actual Razorbacks site here. What are they saying he did? Minifield. They're giving Minifield, no blocks. Okay, 4 turnovers. Just stick to Arkansas stat sheet. But he did have 6 boards, and I saw those. I mean, he just seemed to be at the right place at the right time. I liked his play, and he looked a lot more comfortable. Did you guys notice that? I thought Minifield looked way more comfortable, especially when he was playing the point guard. But he did end up with 11 points. Battle had 18. How about Battle outside, 3 of 4. Tremont Mark, 2 for 2. He was 9 of 14 overall. I'm going to do something. This is new, all right? I'm going to wear this on Mark's behalf. He's going to wear it. This is the Dough Ball. No, they're not a sponsor. Maybe one day. But this is the Dough Ball Gold Chain Player of the Game. I may have to come up with another nickname until they give me sponsorship, right? I'm going to have to take this shot class. You're not a sponsor, but I'll give you the free shout-out. I'm going to wear it on your behalf, Tremont Mark. I thought he played fantastic. 5 of 6 at the line, 2 for 2 outside. Again, 25 total points. He's the point leader. Again, 9 of 14 is just great. 5 of 6. I love that. And I love Devo going 4 for 4 at the free throw line as well. And Khalif Battle goes 5 of 6. You got to love the effort. They did a good job getting to the free throw line, drawing fouls. A lot better minutes, especially in the second half. The first half of this game was pure ass. Let's just be real. It was pure ass. How y'all liking this? You digging it? You digging the gold chain? Can you see it? Yeah, no, I need to, I don't know. I feel like I need like a big hat or something. Who gives someone going on about Mizzou? Gary D, this team is better playing 4 guards and 1 big, and that's how we're moving forward. You could be right, Gary. You could be on to something. By the way, is that Gumball as your avatar? Gary, are you about 20, 19? My kids listen, hey, I shouldn't even judge. I watch Gumball with my daughters. I love watching Gumball. It's hilarious. I like it. I'm gonna give you major props. Ox is in chat. Whoa, Ox is in chat. Oh my goodness. Bulldog was right in the Discord server. We've got 10 guys, average over 10 minutes per game. Nobody can get settled in. It's constant rotation. Yeah, that's a good take. That's a good take by Bulldog. Very good take. Sean Phillips says, man, I hate when we jump at shooters and they jump fake the hell out of us. Yeah, well, they leave their feet too often. Now, I'm seeing them do that a little less per game, but there's been a few instances this year where, my God, it was like every other possession. If they were trying to jump, if they were trying to knock down a three, someone's leaving their feet. They're late getting out to the perimeter, so then they jump. They jump at the shooter. And it can hurt them. I'm surprised they don't get more fouls outside. I don't know how many they have. I don't think they have that many actually, but I'm surprised they don't have more fouls out in the perimeter. What up, my guy? What's up, the Drooby Doobie Doo show? What's up, man? Gumball, one of the best. I love it. It's funny. They do a good job. They make fun of their episode where they make fun of the social justice warriors. Cracks me up, man. Oh man. Scrolling up. Give Ty the likes he deserves. I appreciate that, Steve Brimley. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button. Minifield should be the point guard going forward. Yeah, I agree. I really think he settled into that role for the little bit that he got there in the second half. They went with a different starting bunch, which was interesting. Brazil, Lawson, Ellis, Davenport, and Devo were the starters. Obviously, it didn't work out that great. None of those starters, if I'm looking at this right, again, I got to be careful with looking at these numbers, but ESPN's claiming none of those guys had double digits, so let's check the stat sheet here. Devo had 11, so yeah, ESPN's wrong. There's something going on with ESPN. They're way off. But I know the other ones, Brazil, who ended up with 8 points. Ellis had 0 points. Devo with 4. Chandler Lawson with 9. Lawson didn't have that bad of a game, actually. He did have 10 boards. He got 25 minutes tonight. Devo logged 35, and Minifield actually logged 28 minutes. So good for Minifield. He's obviously finding his way into the floor. I maybe if that's what they're going to do moving forward, four guards. I mean, again, I think some of the better SEC teams are going to force you out of that. But we'll see. I mean, who knows? But again, Tramon Mark's my guy. I've been pretty excited about him too. Him didn't know that we'd get the battle that we've gotten for the most part this season. But I've been pretty excited about two guys. Minifield, because I wanted him at point guard. He's electric. Again, he quietly had a hell of a night with 11 points, 50% shooting. And how about something else? Arkansas goes 3 for 3 on dunks. I feel like that should be celebrated. And then they go 11 of 14 on layups. Oh, my God, they are capable. They're capable of finishing around the rim. We'll see how they do in SEC play. They got a tough one coming up. They have a very tough game coming up against UNC Wilmington. UNC Wilmington, who right now is 9-2, and we are the next game up for them. They just beat Marshall 78-69. They went on the road to Rupp Arena. They talked about it on the broadcast. They went on the road and they beat Kentucky by 7, 80-73. Kentucky fans were throwing a conniption fit. And, Kentucky right now is top 10 in the country, 9-2. These guys are going to be tough. If you, again, and we do this all the time, but it bears repeating, if Arkansas plays the way they did in the first half against these guys, it could be a blowout. I mean, it really could. It could be tough. So we're going to talk about that game. Fortunately, we got a little bit of time before that happens. But, UNC Wilmington and Arkansas on December 30th. So that'll be interesting. 4 p.m. on SEC Network. Let's see. Ty, if we don't bench Devo, we are in for a long season. He is not that guy anymore. Again, his defense has been suspect, man. He's getting beat off the dribble far too often. I've not really liked what I've seen. I'd never thought I would say this, but he almost looks like a liability on defense. He's regressed so much, and I don't know if it has something to do with just the personnel on the floor, if he's just kind of taken on a little bit different role, and maybe it has something to do with him kind of playing the point. I don't know why it would. I don't know. And he's been there before. It's not like he's brand new there, so it's not like he's taken on a completely different role. if they're gonna have him play the 1 or the 2 or whatever. I don't know what's going on with him, but he looks like he's regressed. I never thought that would happen. Now, do you think he stays there? No. I think eventually we're going to see that diva. I mean, come on. He's never looked this bad defensively, even going back to his freshman year. I mean, he is just getting burned off the dribble. He's not the only one. There are a couple of guys that are getting beat off the dribble. Sometimes I kind of wonder just what the hell they're doing around the rim. You know, sometimes they get lost. Graham at times just looks, oh my gosh, I kind of want him off the floor sometimes. And other times you have to appreciate the scoring. You know, he provides you that 4 or 6 points right off the bench. I mean, he could do that. What did they do off the bench points tonight? Arkansas with 62 bench points. My God in heaven. 62 bench points. I'm pretty sure that's a season high. Incredible. Of course, it has something. It helps when you have that different lineup and you get your scorers back on the floor, and especially when they decide to play a little bit more small ball in the second half, it can have an impact for sure. I think overall I'd give it about a C+. I'd say C+ grade on the night because they found a way after trailing a pretty good, decent margin. They came back and they found a way. And that's not too shabby. You know, they found a way. They found a way to take control of the game in the second half. Points in the paint tonight for Arkansas, 38. Points off turnover, 7. Second chance points tonight, they had 9. That's not a bad number. Fast break points, 7. Again, layups. Did I say 11 of 14? Yeah, it said 11 of 14. 3 for 3 on dunks. It's so bizarre. We have to talk about that. Like, you know, I've said all year, I can't figure out what this team is doing on the offensive end of the floor and around the rim and why they can't figure out how to score, how to finish at the rim. And again, the 53% shooting is just fantastic. Just great. And yeah, a lot of those were easy points, you know. Not all of them. Tremont Mark had to bust his ass. And again, you love the 47% shooting outside, even though you were sub 20 off the attempts. 79% at the free throw line. Great. Don't like the 17 turnovers. They only had 8. They played mostly, I thought they had a number of wasted possessions, Abilene Christian. I thought they just, you know, they settled Simmons, who goes 0 for 4 outside. Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? He just kept trying, and he just couldn't do it. They ended up with 16 points off turnovers, talking about ACU. Offensive rebounds, 11. They had 19 second chance points to your 9. That's got to be a number I'm sure Muss is going to look at and circle. That can't happen. They only had 23 points off their bench. They had 40 points in the paint, again, to Arkansas's 38, and they 2-1'd you on fast break points. They had 15 to your 7, just 1 block versus Arkansas's 6, 10 steals to Arkansas's 2, 15 assists to Arkansas's 9. This game was tied up 5 different times, and we had 6 different total lead changes. The other guys aren't averaging 30 minutes, though. Oh, you guys are – that's a separate conversation. Okay, pardon me. I'll continue. Cheesy Skull says, we beat Wilmington by double digits. Arkansas's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get. If maybe they go with this lineup that we saw in the second half tonight, maybe they'll start off a little faster. I'm also not comfortable with these guys. Now, with the lead, tonight they did a pretty good job of sticking on, of keeping their lead in the second half. I don't know that once they got up by about 8 points, I don't think they ever looked behind or looked back. They did a pretty good job of building off that lead. I think at one point he got up to 12 points. It felt like they were going to take off. And again, Abilene Christian did a really good job of getting in closer, right? And again, like I said, had they made some more shots, maybe had a certain somebody not try 4 threes and airball a couple of them, had their shot selection been a little bit better, had they been better at the free throw line, it's a different conversation we're having right now. So again, that's why I'm giving it like a C, somewhere in the C's, right? That's why I'm there. Not a great game by Arkansas, but again, we saw maybe they can build off of what they did. And that's something else we say all the damn time, build off of what you did. But they have, again, a really decent amount of time here to I don't want to say take a deep breath, but they have time to collect themselves after this, watch plenty of film, figure out what they did right, and get ready for a really good UNC Wilmington team. Again, that's going to be Saturday, December 30th at 4 p.m. That's going to be a good one. I hope it's going to be a good one. You hope they don't walk into Bud Walton Arena and run you off your own damn floor. And then you got to turn around and just a short while later, well, I say a short while, January 6th, you got to play Auburn. Fortunately, that's at home. But, yeah, so UNC Wilmington's going to be another just really strong, really good test for the Razorbacks. Ty, is this a tournament team? I mean, at the moment, no, they're not there. Can they be? Yes. Are they at the moment? No. Too many mistakes. Again, they talked about personnel, just kind of a swinging door as far as, what their rotation looks like. I mean, they went 11 today. They went 11 deep, and that's not because this thing got ugly. For anyone who didn't watch the game, it's not like Arkansas had like a 15, 16-point lead under 2 minutes, and they just started subbing out, or under a minute and started subbing guys out. No. They went 11 deep. Like, they're still trying to figure this thing out. I feel like I've said this a bajillion times in the Musselman era, but I don't know that it's really hard. It's hard to find chemistry when no one is really, like, they're not really given the opportunity. Muss is pulling these guys pretty quick. And they went 11 deep today and didn't even play Pinion. Did I see that right? Pinion didn't get a single minute? I don't feel like I saw him on the floor. Yeah, Brazil, Ellis, Davis, Lawson, Davenport. Davenport didn't play much at all. He got 5 minutes tonight. Mitchell only got 8. I thought Mitchell played sloppy. I just was not that impressed with him tonight at all. And, and then he'll have games where you're like, damn, that dude might have been one of the better players we had off the roster all night. But Davenport, Battle, Minifield, Blocker, Graham, Mark, Mitchell. Yeah, so Pinion didn't even play tonight. And did I say that was 11? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, that was 11 deep. So maybe, I don't know. Right now, it's just not a tournament team. They're just not there. They got a ways to go. I mean, let's just be real. They got a ways to go. Now, is it possible, and this was a conversation I was having with somebody in a group chat about, is it just possible that this team could be built to play better in conference? It wasn't built for this non-conference. Now, I don't know that I buy that necessarily, but this person also went on to say maybe who we played is better than we're wanting to admit, and they talked about it tonight. I mean, it's not like they have any bad losses to any really bad teams. Like, yeah, you've lost a couple games if you probably played them 8 times out of 10 on those given days. Maybe you shoot a little bit better at the free throw line. Maybe you're a little bit better at drawing contact fouls. Maybe you get that win, right? Now, Oklahoma, I think 7 times out of 10, they're beating you. Maybe 9 times out of 10. They were certainly the better team that day. We'll see where they're at in March. The same with Memphis. Memphis has been really hot. At least they were coming into this week. They were. But, yeah, it's not like they have embarrassing losses. It's not like there's any one loss where like, oh, my God. You know what I mean? Now, I say that, and pull it up here. The loss they had to UNC Greensboro, they're now, well, they won tonight. They beat, I don't even know how to pronounce that team's name, Volkenberg. That can't be real. The Virginia, okay. ESPN was trying to crunch the name. Okay, it's Virginia Lynchburg Dragons. They beat them 135-57. That sounds like a technical school. But they have 3 losses now, so we know they lost to Vanderbilt, but they went on the road and they lost to Marshall and they lost to High Point, the High Point Panthers. So, but whatever, it is what it is. I still think that's probably a tournament team. UNC Greensboro is. We'll wait and see. But again, none of their losses are super embarrassing. Memphis is not an embarrassing loss. The way you played against North Carolina, it didn't even feel like you belonged in that game, and North Carolina just kind of did what they wanted. They ended up beating you 87-72. But then you take care of business against Duke, right? And you beat Furman. You've got a little 2-game win streak going, hoping you could carry that into Oklahoma. Oklahoma 79-70. We know what that score really was. It felt more like 100-70. Arkansas took advantage in the final minute and a half and was able to shrink that lead. You play horrible against Lipscomb, and you play one horrible half against Abilene Christian tonight. I was trying to read the abbreviated name. It feels like it's about 11 o'clock. So UNC Wilmington up next. I don't know that I would pick Arkansas in that matchup just yet. I don't know. And we got a few days to sit on it and take a look at them, see what they have to offer. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, again, going back to it, Arkansas I don't think they're a tournament team right now. Could that change? We'll see. I don't know. Dope chain. Yeah, bro, you must have missed it. It's the player of the game chain. Jamon Mark, I'm wearing it on his behalf. He's player of the game. Just going to repeat this insane stat. Minifield was plus 22 tonight. Yeah, he was. This is what I was talking about when he was named out, or when he was made eligible. Really think this dude could help turn this around, and I think he's going to play a pretty big role. I really do. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I really liked what I saw out of him. So yeah, they absolutely have to get their assist to turnover ratio up, or they're gonna get screwed. They struggled with that last year. Like the assist to turnover just wasn't where you thought it should have been, and yet somehow they figured it out. I don't know. Tuss Talk would tie 2 chains. That's right, baby. 2 chains. I'm gonna get some more. I'm just gonna cover. I'm gonna look like Mr. T. I'm just gonna have a whole bunch of gold chains, baby. Ty, you got on what we call back in the days of Slick Rick, Oduki rope chain? What? I don't know what that is, bro. I'm not even going to lie. Jalen Graham gets a bucket, then a foul, then a bucket, then a foul. Yeah, he did you notice tonight the last like 5 minutes, they were calling, just some really goofy, soft fouls. Devo got hit with one. Was it Graham? They got hit with one that was really silly. They called it reaching in. I don't know. It is what it is. Winter solstice wearing you down, Ty. It could be that. It could be, Philip. I don't know. So that's right, baby. Once Keon gets settled in, watch out. I think Muss found his point guard. Let's hope that he keeps him there. Let him play the 1, man. Let him play the point. He is a point guard. No more floating around. You like that you can rely on maybe 1 or 2 other guys that can help out with the 1 spot. But no, they got to keep that guy. Keep him at the point. Oh, my God. A super chat. Oh my God. Where'd that come from? Keetron Clark. I feel like these players are looking at the success that Muss is doing in taking lottery picks in the NBA, and they are trying to benefit from that. Maybe it's just me. Well, make no mistake. These are his guys, right? These are the guys he offered out of the portal. 2 chains, Ty. I'm kind of liking that. Run DMC, Ty. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get more. I'm gonna get me some more gold chains. I'm just gonna look like I'm gonna shave I'm just gonna have the mohawk. I'm gonna look like Mr. T. I knew he was gonna laugh at that, but that's an old school term. I've never heard that, bro. Never have. All right, that is that's gonna be it. There's no show tomorrow unless we have breaking news. Nothing right now out of the portal. I know they're still waiting on Shaw. They're waiting on him to sign. I thought maybe he would do it today. Tomorrow is the deadline for early signing period. If if I looked at that correctly. So we'll see what he does. But, yeah. So remember, name scrolls for Patreon supporters are now at the end of the show, just to give you guys a heads up in case you're wondering where that's at. We're trying to get these shows started off a little bit quicker, because, yeah, MC Tusky Tie. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Looks even better if I do the shades, right? How's that? Prime time. But then my hair's all messed up. All right, yeah, so I will see you guys next week, Monday. Again, if we have any breaking news, if anything happens, I'll go live. I'll react to it. A little well-deserved love. Appreciate that. I appreciate that, Stephen Brimley, sir. Ty Muss is a real coach, unlike Pittman. Uh-oh. Shots fired across the bow. Just got to work the kinks out with all these transfer players that are not used to playing together. Right. By February 1st, everyone will be talking about seeding. I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. There's a lot with this team, and I stand by what I've said. I think this is so far, it's the worst team he's put on the floor at this point. Now, that doesn't mean I think it's his worst team. I think really the ceiling is really freaking high for these guys. It's like you said. It's like what was expressed in Discord. We know they can play better ball. We know they're capable of playing a better brand of basketball. We know they're capable of it. We've seen it. Joe Klein talked about it tonight. We've seen it. They've just got to figure out chemistry, figure out how to play together. And it sounds cliche and whatever, but if it's true, it's true. They've got to figure out how to play better. Too many individuals need to play together as a team, the whole no I in team, blah, blah, blah. But they've got to figure it out, and then they've got to figure out the right rotation. And I hope they're not 7-8 games into SEC play still trying to figure that out, because if that's the case, I don't know that I see them going to the tournament or not. Right now, they're not a tournament team. That's not to say that I don't think they can get back to a better place. Unfortunately, with the losses that they have, 8-10 in conference play is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. It's not going to get you in. You've got to win some games you're not supposed to win. And right now, I think they might even be in the situation where obviously you don't want to lose at home, but you feel like you might need to snag a couple on the road just to be sure. A couple of games you're not supposed to win on the road. So we'll see. Anyways, you guys, if I don't see you before Christmas, where's my calendar? Christmas is on a Monday this year, right? So am I going to be live on Christmas? Oh, probably not. Okay, I don't know when I'll see you next, actually. So it might be sometime next week. So if I don't see you before Christmas, please have a Merry Christmas. Shout out to Patreon supporters. My goodness, you guys, I need to change that description. You guys have been awesome in Patreon. Really do appreciate you. And I appreciate all you who've come through all these lives. I do plan on being here again before the end of the year, so this won't be the last time you see me before we turn the page on 2023. There's Patreon if you want to join. We're almost at 100. We're at 97. Who's gonna help us cross that line? Who's gonna help? We're almost there, man. We're at 97. Patreon, Tuss Talk with Ty Patreon supporters, I never thought it was possible. I'm not even going to lie to you. Did not think we would ever get close to this. Well, maybe in a couple of years. Did not think we'd do it this year to get this close. So shout out to all you guys. Also, shout out to our other sponsor, by the way, Odd Soul Crap Bar and Pizzaria, located on Emma Street in Springdale, Arkansas. Fantastic pies, great environment. Awesome environment, actually. Great place to watch games. Great stuff on tap. Great IPAs. So, yeah, go by. The next time you're in town, go by the Odd Soul. Tell them Ty sent you. All right? Okay, that's it. Here comes the name scroll. Merry Christmas if I don't see you guys, if I don't see you before then. All right? Have a safe and happy holidays, and I'll see you guys next week sometime.